We'll start with giving the opportunity for each candidate to make a statement to you of a maximum of 3 minutes. And we'll start again in alphabetical order, if that's okay. So, Lucy.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Can you hear me? Is that better? Yes. Okay. I could start by saying why I'm a Liberal Democrat, but I'll just say briefly that Liberal Democrats are a progressive party, a radical party, and a moderate party. And you can see that in the last few years in the coalition, we have moderated what the Conservatives would otherwise have done, and in any arrangement, we would moderate what somebody else is doing. One of the things I love about Liberal Democrats is that we look at policy from a joined-up perspective. My background is engineering. I'm a chartered engineer. And I think engineers also give a view to the way in which our world works. Just sitting here, you can see how much we have done to our world. We have technology all around us, and the technology around us is dependent on technology beyond this room. If it starts to go wrong, then somebody will come and fix it, because we have an amazing system in our civilization. But it's also very fragile. It's not just the ecology of our world that is fragile, but it is also our civilization that is fragile. And if we don't have people with technical understanding at the top, I think it's more likely that we'll make the wrong decisions for our country. So as an engineer in an engineering city, I think it's something that I have to offer, which we don't currently have. Our joined-up thinking as Liberal Democrats also goes to our policy making. So, for example, by putting more money into schools where there are kids from low-income families, we help ensure that every child has a chance to do well in life. And every child should be able to leave school with the opportunity to get a job and motivated to get a job. And by doing that, we are reducing the likelihood of people needing to claim benefits. So we're reducing the cost to the public purse. It's joined-up thinking. It's worth investing at the front to be able to get something out at the end. The same would be true in terms of insulating homes. We want to be able to cut people's bills as well as cut our CO2 emissions. That joined-up thinking is what Parliament ought to be able to put together. And with Liberal Democrats in government, I think we've seen more of that than we have often done in the past.
Lucy, thank you very much indeed, and we'll move on to Alice.
Thank you. My name is Alice. As Chris mentioned at the start, I am a teacher in the city. That unfortunately means that I have seen the full implications of the austerity that has been brought upon the public sector over the last 5 years. Myself and the Green Party believe that we have a choice. Austerity is not a necessity, it's a decision to make. In terms of what we believe are priorities, we believe in a fair economy which benefits the many, not the few. We believe in a completely public NHS and to build back up our public services to an acceptable level, and we also believe in a safe environment both in terms of ecology and in terms of the community. As I mentioned, I do believe that austerity is a choice, it isn't a necessity. It's very likely that we'll hear quite a bit this evening about shades of austerity and the difference that different shades can make. We stand for something totally different, we don't believe in that. In terms of what I believe in locally, at the moment we have 131 deaths per year in Derby due to air pollution, and our response to that as a city is to build a huge incinerator over at Sinfin. We are different from the other parties because of our views on things such as TTIP, on fracking and on austerity, as I've mentioned already. In Derby at the moment we have 19% of our children living in poverty. This cannot continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Alice. Amanda.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Amanda, and I'm the candidate for the Conservatives. My background is retail and manufacturing and warehousing. And over the years, I've seen many changes. When I've joined the company that I've been recently working for, there were 7,000 people employed in manufacturing, and over the years, I've seen that eroded down to 4 people now on the sample line. And for me, that is a thing that we need to address, and we need to be boosting the economy in order to get more manufacturing going and also boost education, NHS and crime will fall into place from that if we boost the economy. But what I also want to say is that community is really important. And it's one of the things that I've always done. I have a commitment to the YMCA, where I'm a mentor, because it's really important that we look after young people and we give them all the support, because it is hard being a young person today. I'm also the school governor. I believe that education is incredibly important, and I've done that for 7 years now. And it's given me the opportunity to directly impact on the management of the school, and also to see how the measures that the Conservative Party have introduced and see them put into practice and working. I believe that the economy is definitely on the right track. I believe that that's one of the things that we are seeing, especially here in Derby. We only have to look at the paper when we've had things like the Rolls-Royce announcement of yesterday, which is absolutely fantastic news to everybody, and I don't think anybody could deny that. A couple of other statistics are there are 28,000 more businesses in Derby North as well, and that's a lot of businesses. And 131,000 more people are actually in work in the East Midlands. We'll go on, and I'm sure, and talk about apprenticeships, but for me, I just wanted to say, and to all of you here, this is an incredibly exciting time. As you said, this is going to be a really, really close election, and I think for me being involved in this, I just want to share that enthusiasm. And I really hope that actually what this is going to do is put politics back on the agenda of so many people in this country, because I think it's capturing the imagination and it's going to get a lot more people hopefully out to vote. Thank you.
Amanda, thank you. And finally, Chris.
Well, good evening. I just want to start really by making the point that we are living through an unparalleled cost of living crisis. We know that average earnings are £1,600 per year less than we were in 2010, and according to the IFS, people are around just over £1,000 a year worse off in real terms as a consequence of those cuts that we've seen. This cost of living crisis manifests itself in not just that reduction in average earnings, but we currently have something in the order of 1 in 5 of the workforce earning a wage which is below the living wage. We know that there are rogue employers, ruthless employment agents who are exploiting workers, exploiting young people, and this is something which has been enabled by the deregulatory approach which has been adopted by the Conservative Liberal Democrat Alliance government. We're also undergoing an incredibly difficult housing crisis where young people find it incredibly difficult to get a foot on the housing ladder. They can't afford to buy, they can't afford to rent. We're building fewer homes than we've built since the 1920s. The housing benefit bill is ballooning. We're spending something in the order of £25 billion per year subsidising high rents in our country, enabling private landlords to get fat at the expense of the taxpayer, not really providing any social value. And I would sooner see that money being spent on building homes, building affordable homes for people, and the current ratio of the amount which is going into building affordable homes by this government is less than £1 billion, £900 million a year on building affordable homes, which they define as 80% of market rent, which isn't actually affordable in the end. So that's a massive challenge, I think. And then, of course, there is this unprecedented assault on public services. Public services have been decimated right across the country. And in Derby, there's a Fair Deal for Derby campaign to try and secure a better deal for Derby citizens. It's meant that services, public services that the council provides have had to be cut back. We've seen efficiency savings of the National Health Service, which has had a negative impact on the health service too. And what I want to see is a Labour government elected to put fairness, compassion and decency at the heart of government policy making, and ensure that we create an economy that works for everybody, not just those at the top.